Yes boys, what's happening? Welcome back to another FIFA 21 video here on the channel and another custom tactics video in the FIFA Academy series, which we didn't even really start this year because we gave up on FIFA so early. But we are back with another custom tactics video, and these videos do normally bang, so make sure you hit like and subscribe to the channel if you are a new subscriber or a new viewer around here. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and let's get into the custom tactics in today's video. Now today we do have a very specific setup that we are using with the squad. You'll see my team on the screen right now. It is a very specific style of play, and you do need certain players in certain positions on a pitch. This won't just work with any old team. Just a little heads up, you do definitely need to structure your squad around this formation and around these tactics. Now if you've seen my last custom tactics video on the channel, you'd know that we do use the 4-2-3-1 formation, and we have been enjoying that, but I decided to switch it up for this weekend league, try something different, try a different formation and tactics, and we have discovered the 4-2-4 formation, boys. The reason we do use the 4-2-4 formation is because I play Football Manager, and on Football Manager I use the 4-2-4 formation, and I've been absolutely killing with this formation on Football Manager. So I decided to bring it over to FIFA, try it out in FIFA, play the exact same way, pretty much the exact same player roles for each of my players. And honestly boys, I've played about 10 games in this formation and I only lost once, and it was honestly just so fun to play with, so fun. So you can see the team on the screen now. We have our usual back four. We have Kante and Ruben Neves in the middle, and then we have our four players up front, 2 wingers and 2 strikers. Now we will get into those individual position roles like I mentioned. We'll get into that later, but first let's look at the tactics. For the defensive style, we have pressure on heavy touch. Now this formation, it does leave you open in the midfield. You've only got 2 men in the midfield, which is your Kante and Ruben Neves in my team. So having constant pressure or pressure on after possession loss, you will be exposed more times than not if you do use those tactics there, because there isn't that like packed midfield that you get with other formations, but you do make up for it in other ways. With the pressure on heavy touch, say like your opponent is passing it out with his defence, if his defender has a bad touch, you've got 4 attackers to pressure that heavy touch, and the same goes when he's moving up the pitch. You know, it's very situational, the heavy touch defensive style. So I just prefer this to any other defensive style while I'm using the 4-2-4 formation. We have 5-4 as the width and depth. You can drop that back a bit further, but I've found that 4 depth is perfect for the defensive line. You know, the gap between the attacking line and the defensive line, I found that 4 depth, it's a perfect balance. For the offensive style, we use long ball. Now, if you've seen my last videos, you'd know why we do use long ball. One of my favourite offensive styles to use this FIFA. When you win the ball back, basically all your players just bomb forward up the pitch, and it's so easy to counter-attack. If you're a counter-attacking player, if you like to soak up the pressure and then counter-attack, definitely try a long ball, and I'm sure you'll see better results. You can see a little graphic on the side there. Your players just bomb up the pitch. Now for the tactics here with the bars, we leave it fairly basic. We've got 5 width. It's quite a wide formation. You know, we've got 4-2-4. That's 2 wingers, obviously our 2 fullbacks as well, so we leave it on the middle 5 width. Players in the box we have on 5 as well. We don't want to put this too high, because then both your midfielders might come into the box, and you don't want that. Then you'll have nobody back to support the defence. Corners, free kicks, 2 and 2. Now getting into the player instructions, I'm sure as you might be able to tell by the title or the thumbnail of this video, this formation is really structured around a target man. I feel like a target man really changes the way you play FIFA, because I'm sure everyone knows the meta in FIFA, the most effective tactic is to have those fast, little, agile players with high balance, high agility, you know, good pace, and just like do skills, mad skills and that. But boys, honestly, like, give this a try. If you're sick of that style of play, if you do it yourself and you're bored of it, try this out. Or if you're sick of playing against it, try this out and try and fucking stick it to the man, you get me, like Jack Black says in School of Rock. So for the custom tactics, we have the usual stay back while attacking on our fullbacks. If we did tell those guys to get forward, we would be very exposed at the back. One thing I will say though is that this formation works very well for me, because I have Van Dijk and Varane as my centre backs, 2 absolute units, commanding presence in the back line, and we have Nelson Semedo and Ferland Mendy as our fullbacks. You definitely need fast fullbacks in this formation, boys. If you're gonna play this 4-2-4, make sure you get fullbacks with some pace. In the midfield, we have N'Golo Kante. Now, on Kante, we have stay back while attacking, and we should have cover centre. I don't know why that was on cover wing. For Kante, we have stay back while attacking, cover centre, and aggressive interceptions. Now, aggressive interceptions is definitely one player instruction I advise you use on your midfielders and your attackers. It'll rinse your stamina a bit, so make sure your players have got good stamina before you put that interception player instruction on. But once you put it on, boys, you definitely see the difference. Now, Kante is our CDM. This is the guy who's going to stay back, sit in front of the defenders, and this is the guy that you need in this two-man midfield. You need a defender, or a defensive midfielder, sorry, to sit in front of the defenders. This is what, again, where I'm talking about, like the player roles. You need a very defensive midfielder in this two in the midfield. And as for our other midfielder, we have Ruben Neves, the Premier League player objective Ruben Neves, 89 rated. We have him on balanced attack, cover centre, aggressive interceptions, and get into the box for cross. Ruben Neves is our box-to-box midfielder in this formation. This guy goes forward, he's our playmaker, he creates the attacks, he distributes the ball to our strikers and to our wingers, but he also comes back on the defence sometimes and helps out defensively. You need a well-rounded midfielder in this role here. You can't have someone who's too attacking, and you don't want someone who's too defensive, because we've already got Kante, who can play that defensive role. You could go with two box-to-box midfielders in the middle here, but just make sure you've definitely got a more defensive one, as well as a guy who does have good passing and dribbling stats, who can distribute the ball forwards. Now, getting into the attack, on the left wing, we have Jack Grealish, who is a right footer, so we have an inverted winger on the left wing. For Jack Grealish, we have stay forward, get into the box across, and aggressive interceptions. Now, our plan with Grealish is to run down the wing. If we can't cut inside, just cross the ball to one of our strikers, and our target man will hopefully get his head on it. But he's an inverted winger, so the plan is to cut inside, try and get those finesse shots off, and those shots with his right foot. Our other winger is Marcus Rashford, who's just a regular winger, right footer on the right side. We have the same again. We have stay forward, aggressive interceptions, get into the box across, but we also have get in behind on Rashford, just because, like I say, he is a regular winger for us. He's just fast, get in behind, get those crosses in the box, those pullbacks as well. We don't have Grealish on getting behind because we don't want him to go in behind. We want him to cut inside. You can put cut inside as your chance creation, but I just think these are shit. These stay wide, free roam and cut inside. I think it just makes your player shit if you put any of those on, so just leave it how it is. Now, the moments of truth, boys, are two strikers. Yeah, we have Edison Cavani, we have stay forward and get in behind with aggressive interceptions. That is our guy who's our advanced forward. That's our player who's going to get in behind the defence, get those one-on-one opportunities, and run off the back of our target man and our wingers. And the biggest role in this team, boys, it is Olivier Giroud, our target man. We have attack and run set to target man, interception set to aggressive, and defensive support set to stay forward. Now, Giroud in this target man role is absolutely unbelievable, boys. Let me jump off the custom tactics a sec, and I will show you this guy's record for me. Like, this guy is actually incredible. When I first got him, I was using him in online friendlies and he was shit. Then I took him to Division 1, boys. We played 6, scored 13 and assisted 4. This guy's incredible in the target man role. I suppose you could even use Cavani in the target man role if you've got a player like that. But you do need a tall striker with good strength, good passing as well. That's a key for me with strikers. We see 89 short pass there on Olivier Giroud with the basic chem style. So what the target man's role is to hold the ball up, get the ball to his feet, hold it up, and then distribute it to your other striker who's running off the back of him because he's on the getting behind attacking runs. Or he can play it out to the wingers, then make a little 1-2 run into the box and get his head on things. Giroud's heading is fucking outrageous. He doesn't even have the power header trait, but he has 94 jumping and 99 heading accuracy. Now, this guy's insane. I'm going to show you a few clips before the end of the video of a few goals that we did score with this team. But honestly, boys, this 4-2-4 formation is really changed the way I play FIFA in a good way. I'm excited to try this in the weekend league. The games that I did play with this formation were in division rivals and Division 1, so it's still to a high standard. But like I say, the most important part of this formation is those individual player roles. You need fast fullbacks. You need centre-backs who command a presence at the back. Yeah, you've got Varane and Van Dijk who can easily take on 2-on-1 situations. You need a defensive midfielder, a box-to-box midfielder with playmaking ability. You need wingers. The wingers don't matter. It's up to you how you like to play with wingers. I like having a normal winger and an inverted winger, but you could just have 2 regular ones who just whip the ball in. And for your strikers, you need the target man, of course, the the most important part of this whole setup here. And your other striker doesn't really matter. You could have a little fast guy. We use Cavani, who's not that fast, but he's been killing it for us. But you could use, I don't even know, you could use a Rashford up front, somebody like that who is fast. But definitely go and give these a try, boys. Let me know what you think of these custom tactics, and let's get into some gameplay. I'll show you a few goals that we did score with this team. Let's get into the gameplay. Alright boys, into the gameplay. So, you will see in these clips a good example of everything that I've already discussed in this video. Especially with this first clip, you'll see a prime example of how those aggressive interceptions, player instructions do work. You see there, we've scored a goal with Giroud. I didn't press a button. That was just Giroud because of the aggressive interceptions instruction, tackling the goalkeeper by himself, intercepting the ball, and luckily we got a goal from it. But yeah, like I'm saying, you'll see in this video, or the gameplay, sorry, how I do play with this team, each individual player. And you know, like I've already discussed in this video, the players have individual roles almost. Like I've mentioned, it's based on my Football Manager tactics. In Football Manager, if you don't know, players have a certain role and a certain name, and that's what I tried to create here in FIFA 21, and I succeeded with this. Like, some of the goals we score is actually insane, some of these goals. Now, this video did start off being a Giroud player review video, but then it turned into just a custom tactics video because of how good these custom tactics were. But the majority of the goals do come from Giroud. We played like 6 games and he scored 14, something crazy like that. Like, this guy was actually incredible. You've only got a day left or a few hours left by the time this video goes up. So make sure you go and complete this guy if you haven't already. Like, this guy's finishing in front of goal was just mad. But you can see here, Virgil van Dijk doing Virgil van Dijk type things. Just absolutely raping JJ Okocha Prime there.
Dominated us. Like, that was rape. Like, rape. Simple as. Really.
It was just rape, really, yeah. Again, Jack Grealish with the aggressive interceptions. Lovely bit of movement there from Giroud. I didn't think the ball would make it to him, but we get a nice little burst of pace through on goal and get the chip finish in the far corner. Now, the good thing about having Giroud and Cavani in this team is the headers. Look at that header from Giroud there. It goes over the bar. Fear not. The next corner comes to Cavani and we score. I scored so many headers from corners with this squad. Because if Giroud doesn't get his head on it, and if Cavani doesn't get his head on it, you've got Van Dijk and Varane behind them. So that's why I say you need a strong aerial presence and just a presence in general in your team. Look at that from Van Dijk. I think that was, again, he missed the ball, but it was just his presence being there, put their player off from getting the ball. Nice through ball to Cavani and a slotted finish home in the top right corner. You just get a really good mix of everything in this team. You know, you've got a strong defence, you've got the 4 attackers who are lethal going forward, and look how much space we've got with Kante here, just bombing it forward. With the 2 in midfield, it's very open. We should have scored that there, should have took it round the keeper. But yeah, the midfield is very open, so when you're defending, it does get quite tricky. Like there, you see there, we are quite exposed at the back. But Van Dijk, again, doing Van Dijk type things, or Varane, I don't even know which one that was, but they just do those type things. But yeah, like I say, when the midfield is quite exposed at the back, so that's why you do need that Kante player who is the anchor to just sit there and defend. Obviously, we ran Kante out of position there, so that's why it was so exposed. But when you do win the ball back, you do have that space because it isn't crowded in your midfield. You have that space to just run forward. Lovely turn there from Ruben Neves. Quality player, and by the way, another objective card that you should go and get if you haven't already. Quality player. In a few games we did play with him. See the way he bombs it forward there. He's a great box-to-box midfielder. He's got good all-round stats. He's got great passing, decent shooting and dribbling stats. But he's also got good pace and defending. So he was great for me in that box-to-box midfielder role. Passing is a very important stat on FIFA this year, I find. That is one of the most important stats in a player. Ridiculous finish there from Cavani, by the way. Look at that. But yeah, we're just coming towards the end of the gameplay now. If you did enjoy this video, please hit like, comment, share and subscribe for more videos on the channel from FIFA 21. We've got a lot of FIFA 21 content. And yeah, man, give these tactics a go. Give it a try. Let me know what you think of them in the comments below. Try and build your squad exactly how I've mentioned with the certain positional roles. Because if you try and do this with just any old team, I don't know how effective it will be. But if you build a squad like how I've built mine, then it will be a very, very effective tactic for you to use in the weekend league and guarantee more goals. That's a big thing, boys. I scored so many goals using this formation, and it doesn't matter if you're exposed at the back. It doesn't matter how many goals you concede, because if you outscore your opponent, then you're going to win the game. If you score more than your opponent, then you win the game. Sounding like Michael Owen there, obvious Owen. But yeah, like I scored so many goals, so many just quality finishes from these two strikers, especially. What a partnership that is. Now, icon swaps does come out on Friday, and we are going to get a prime or moment icon pack, so make sure you stay tuned on the channel for that one. But I am hoping for a fast striker such as Eto'o or Fernando Torres. Not asking for too much there, am I? But those are the players I'm hoping for, and they will replace Cavani in this squad. And yeah, that is going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy, please hit like, comment, share, and subscribe. You know the drill. And I will catch us in the next video, people. Take it easy.